So the video I was gonna film that I had spent a lot of time working on, that I was really proud of the script, is not findable. It's missing. The script is gone. And it's annoying because I was literally just setting up to start filming, had a burst of motivation to do that. And it's got me thinking about the biggest thing that I think stops us from doing what we know we need to do, which is discouragement. Discouragement is wild because the way it sets in, at least for me personally, is so paralyzing and it's so discouraging. It totally just stops me in my tracks from doing the things I want to do. But what actually is discouragement? And why does it hit all of us? Because I definitely think I'm not the only one that feels this way sometimes so hard. And what do we do to get around it? I think in order to find the answer to that question, I want to reflect on an experience that I just had recently directing and shooting a music video that I also produced and recorded and mixed the song for. And that video is the video for the song Morning by Dear Quentin and Jackie Joshua. Now, I have always wanted to get into filmmaking in some capacity because I love film. It's one of my favorite other art forms outside of music. And so when the opportunity came up that I had been wanting for a long time, where there was kind of this safe space to get to experiment with some actual getting behind a camera, and I was really excited. So anyway, they gave me this great safe space to do that. And it was really, really fun. And in the editing process, I encountered my first wall of discouragement, which is that it didn't fully match the vision that I had in my head. And I think that's the first notable thing about where discouragement crops up for me if I'm reflecting on previous times being discouraged, is most of the time it starts when I feel like there's a mismatch in the vision that I have in my head versus my execution of that vision. What I realized was that I'm new to filmmaking. Like, this isn't something I've tried before. And of course there's going to be a mismatch in the vision in my head. And I think especially when you are fairly proficient at something that happens to be adjacent to something else you're trying to do. So for instance, me being a music producer and having put a lot of time and energy and experience into this to where I feel pretty proficient. I don't know everything, but I definitely can do most things I want to do in music production. Stepping into another adjacent field, creativity adjacent, artistic medium adjacent, I kind of have this expectation on myself that I should just be able to do it. But that's not real, because it's a completely different medium, even though there are overlaps in the sense of like creating a sense of world and creating a narrative and things feeling cohesive, right? Like choosing a setting and a place and types of shots that all make sense together. Like creativity overlaps in that way a lot of times, I think, in creating effective art. But as far as the experience of actually being behind a camera and lining things up, and the biggest thing for me that I just recognized as a weak point right away is I wasn't communicating to Jackie and Quentin like what I actually needed or wanted from them. I was just kind of expecting them to get it and not communicating as a director. And I was like, wow, I'm a really shitty director. Like, that's something I'm just not good at. Like, give me a camera, I can line up a cool shot for sure, but like communicating with the people involved. And it was awesome because they were so like understanding of being like, oh, like, what do you want? And like speaking up. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess like this, or here's what we're doing. But like, I was so bad at communicating compared to how I am like in the studio. So I had this moment of discouragement, and what I got to do was say, okay, this makes sense, right? Like there's a logical reason here that I'm feeling this discouragement, and it's just because I can't achieve on my first try the level that people I look up to achieve. I can't get that the first time because I'm just new here. So pushing through that discouragement, the editing process went pretty smooth. We came out to a semi final cut, and I started into the color grading process. Also something I'm very new at. So as soon as I started, some more discouragement set in. Reflecting on that experience now, I'm like, all right, there's a pattern here, right? Anytime I'm new at something, discouragement crops up. That's cool. Kind of push through that. Then after hours of color grading each individual scene and shot, I got to a point where I was like pretty happy with it. Sent it over to them. They were feeling like it looked really good. And I had an idea to kind of optimize my workflow. I tried to group all the scenes into one clickable thing that I could adjust to try and adjust everything as a whole. And it fully deleted all of my color grade. I was left sitting there with the wreckage of everything I had worked for over probably like 8 to 10 hours I had spent color grading just because I'm so new to it. I'm still trying to learn and get this look that's in my head. And I was left sitting there just like I'm sitting here now with this thing that I had worked at and felt proud of just gone. And discouragement set in really heavy, much more heavy than it did, you know, just running into like, oh, this doesn't look like quite the way I imagined it to. And yeah, it sucks. It sucks putting time into something to feel like you've made no progress. And I think that's the second place that discouragement really hits me, is that I feel like I put a lot of time and energy into things and I don't see any progress or anything meaningful. It's really reminiscent to me of the feeling of putting time and work into something and then just deleting it, but unintentionally deleting it, having it disappear on you. And it's really jarring and kind of abrasive feeling. But here's where this gets interesting. Because I had other people around me and it was a collaborative project, because I had a deadline that we were working with, and because I gave myself permission to not be perfect at something, I sat back down at the computer. I used everything I had learned previously and color graded the whole thing again. It was much faster this time because I knew kind of what I wanted to see. I had even been unhappy with the previous color grade in quite a few ways, and I was able to adjust those things much more effectively because I was starting from scratch, and I came out the other end with something I was much, much happier with, that I think looks way better, that is the final color grade you'll see in the video. And I learned something in that moment, which is the second time I do things, if it's done out of necessity, like having something disappear, a lot of times it's a lot smoother and it's a lot better because you've already hashed your way through the creative blockages and hurdles and problems. You've already solved those things and you can just get straight to the work you need to do that work, take your previous knowledge with you. And I had this moment of like, oh my God, nothing is wasted here. Like, if I am truly learning this thing that I'm putting my effort into, so if it's color grading or script writing, making videos, my time is never wasted. Even if it feels like I have flushed 5 or 6 hours or however long I spent on that script down the drain, my time isn't wasted because I've beat through the blockages. I've thought through the process from start to finish. I grasped what I was going to say, and I remember that. I remember what I was going to say. I remember the overarching feeling it was giving me, even if I don't remember word for word. I remember the checkpoints that I needed to hit. And chances are I'm going to rewrite that video and it's going to be better than it was last time because my time isn't wasted. I've learned. My goal with YouTube is just to get better at making videos. My goal with the video that I did for Jackie and Quentin was just to get better at making and being in this world of film and get better at color grading and get better at cinematography. My goal with music is just to get better at making music. So I think if we set the right goal for ourselves, which is just to get better, then we know where the discouragement hits us, which, like I said, for me is when I feel new at things and when I feel like I've wasted time. And then I know some antidotes and things that get me through it, which is having people around me, right? Creating a sense of community and collaboration, having deadlines and things that don't let me get in my head, and then having the knowledge that my time isn't wasted. I'm not putting effort into something needlessly. I'm always getting better. I'm always learning something from the process. If I can keep those things in my head, I'm I'm gonna press through. I'm gonna keep going. And I'm gonna do the things that I wanna do. So I think the goal isn't to avoid discouragement entirely. It's to know that discouragement is a teacher. It's an opportunity to grow and get better, and then to show yourself that you can overcome adversity. So yeah, I wasn't planning on making this video. I was actually gonna script another video today, and then this happened. And then I was like, I think I have another video idea. I'm glad I made this, and I hope that it helps you, because discouragement is wild and all of us encounter it, and I need this video hopefully as much as you do. Thanks for watching. Keep working to understand things that motivate you, understand your music, because when we understand our music, we make better music. And when we understand the obstacles in our way, those obstacles are way less hard to combat. So yeah, see you guys in the next one.